Williams finding out more. I have a solution.
Okay.
Drop the candy off with me. Right?
Sounds terrible.
That might not be a good idea.
Actually, Ryan is with Lifetime Fitness. We were just talking about when we were kids and when we got our Halloween candy. I would separate every piece of candy into categories.
No, you would not.
And then count how many individual pieces of that specific candy I had. Wow, why was I doing that as a kid? It makes no sense, Ryan.
Yeah, I was a little more of an equal opportunist candy eater. I just couldn't eat it all.
Exactly. Okay, so we are basically trying to help people out at home realize, listen, we know it's the holiday season, so we don't have to start with the candy now and make it last, through the season. Especially when it comes to Thanksgiving, we're eating all the sweets. Here are some alternatives and healthy tips when it comes to all the candy. Yeah.
So, some of the things that I like to try to recommend some of my clients to do is to go and stay away from the sugary sweets. Go towards more something like a healthy trail mix or going towards a dark chocolate as an alternative to eating some of the more sweet types of candy.
Listen, I'm not one to go against what you're trying to say because I'm all about this, but I just envision trick-or-treating and going trick-or-treat and someone's like, here's a bag of trail mix. It's great. It's a great alternative. It really is.
Thanks.
But let's talk about that because really people probably aren't giving that out when kids are going and hitting the streets.
Well, one of the things that I try to coach a lot of my clients on and try to have them reciprocate that to their children is to talk about it's okay to eat candy.
Okay.
It's okay to have a little bit. I know, no, calm down. It's okay. But we can have these things, and usually when we give ourselves permission to have it and kind of set the habit for ourselves, we're usually going to do a lot better than if we had said, oh, I'm not going to have any candy this year.
Got it. Okay.
Never works.
Okay.
And we end up having more in the long run than if we had just gone, all right, I'm going to have 5 or 6 pieces, and that's just the way it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if I come home with both of these, what would you say is a fair amount of pieces I should have a day or maybe per week?
I usually find the week method's usually a little bit better. To go, all right, I'm going to have 12 pieces this week, and that's the amount I get to have. You'll find that by the end of the week, you usually have more than the 12 pieces left over because we instinctively want to partition things out. Because we're like, oh, I want to wait till we have a bad day. I do the same type of strategy with somebody that drinks a lot of alcohol or eats a lot of really bad fatty foods.
Okay.
We'll do the same strategy.
Okay. I like that. That's great. Okay, anything else on this table that we should be paying attention to? I also see next to the trail mix, is that chocolate?
Yeah, it is. It's that dark chocolate. Dark chocolate usually tends to be lower in calorie, as well as it can also boost our immune system and give us a little bit of antioxidants from it.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Ryan with the tips. Boom.
Appreciate it.
All right, so if you're passing out candy this year, maybe just go with the bag of trail mix, or at the very least, dark chocolate. And if not, when you're at home, remember, maybe, quite possibly, 12 pieces a week.
Maybe.
That I can do.
Fair.
All right. All right,
I feel like we're ruining
Don't
Halloween.
steal my candy.